The world has seen tragedy in many forms. Wars, genocides, riots, famines, and many other terrible things caused mostly by individuals with power. The real evil, however, lies within the architects of these inhuman practices. Men who advocated crime to a level no one else could fathom. Their decision wreaked havoc on humanity and all that comes with it. In this episode, we will be taking a look at 10 of the most terrible leaders to have ever been born. Number 10. Nero. We start off the list with one of the infamous Roman emperors. Nero wreaked havoc in the Roman Empire. He burnt entire cities, leading to the demise of thousands of people and hundreds of communities. During his reign, it is said that people were subjected to all forms of terror and pure horror. It is believed that he started the Great Fire that burned Rome but blamed it on Christians, who were then treated with spite in Rome. Nero later on passed away when the rebellion was lost. Number 9. Leopold II of Belgium. Leopold was the second king of the Belgians from 1865 to 1909 and the founder and sole owner of the Congo Free State from 1885 to 1908. When king, he ruled over the Congo Free State, which was approximately 76 times the size of Belgium. He made the entire world believe that he was going to help Congo. But under his regime, between 1885 to 1908, the country was subjected to a reign of terror. Over 500,000 were lost to diseases, and many lost to starvation as well. Over 10 million Congolese are believed to have been lost under his reign, which was 50% of the population of Congo. All this, just to gain money and more power. Number 8. Ivan the Terrible. Ivan Vasilyevich, commonly known as Ivan the Terrible, was Grand Prince of Moscow and sovereign of all Russia from 1533 and the first Crown Tsar of all Russia. As a kid, he used to throw animals from the top of tall structures. Though he was intelligent, he had bouts of rage due to mental illness. During one, he even finished out his own heir to the throne. Historians have stated that Ivan seemed to have enjoyed doing these acts of absurdity. Even in friends, he saw his enemies. In the Novgorod massacre, more than 60,000 people were subjected to extreme treatment and eventually exterminated. Ivan passed away while playing chess with his friend. Number 7. Idi Amin. Idi Amin, who was the chief of army staff, had taken control of Uganda while President Obote had gone to Singapore to attend a meeting. He promised to bring prosperity to Uganda. But a week later, he declared himself president of Uganda. As dictator, he came to be known as the Butcher of Uganda. He was a terrible leader and frequently fed his subjects to crocodiles and claimed he was a cannibal. He finished off around 500,000 people between 1971 and 1979 as ruler. Idi Amin is believed to be one of the worst and ruthless leaders to have ruled on the African continent. He died of natural causes. Number 6. Saddam Hussein. He was the dictator of Iraq from 1979 to 2003. During his reign, he authorized countless attacks on people. His policies made way for the demise of not less than 2 million people. Saddam Hussein and the Ba'ath Party used violence, arbitrary arrest, unlawful detention, and various forms of repression to control the population. He believed that the future and security of Iraq and the pan-Arab state that he hoped would come about depended on military might. Saddam was found guilty of crimes against humanity and prosecuted in 2006. Number 5. Heinrich Himmler. He was head of the SS and the brain behind the final solution to the Jewish question, that is, removal of all Jews in Europe. Himmler was hugely responsible for the removal of about 6 million Jews, 2 to 5 lakh Russians, and many other groups that the Nazis believed were unworthy of living. It is believed, though not verified, that he had furniture made from the remains of his victims. He passed away in 1945 and is buried at an undisclosed location. Number 4. Pol Pot. Pol Pot was the leader of the Cambodian revolutionary group the Khmer Rouge, which had orchestrated the Cambodian annihilation. Pol Pot believed in destroying the Cambodian civilization in order to start a new regime and usher in a new age. He is probably the only man in history who ordered a war on his own country. During his reign as Prime Minister from 1976 to 1979, his policies led to the annihilation of around 2 million people, which was 25% of the entire population. In declining health, Pol Pot stepped back from many of his roles in the movement. In 1998, the Khmer Rouge commander Tom Mok placed Pol Pot under house arrest, and shortly afterward, Pol Pot passed away. Number 3. Vlad the Impaler. Vlad the Impaler was also known as Vlad Dracula. Few names have cast more terror into the human heart than Dracula. The legendary vampire character of Dracula was loosely based on Vlad, due to his sadistic personality and cruel acts done to the people of Wallachia, where he reigned as prince 3 times between 1448 to 1462 and ended about 20% of the population. In total, Vlad is estimated to have annihilated about 80,000 through various means, but from the nature of his name I'm sure you can deduce which was his favorite mean. Number 2. Joseph Stalin. Joseph Vissarionovich Stalin was dictator of the Soviet Union from 1922 till his death in 1953. As a young man, he was a robber and an assassin. For almost 30 years, he reigned with terror and violence in the Soviet Union. His decisions led to a famine affecting millions of the population. Forget enemies, he even ended families of people who were fond of him. Under his rule, more than 1.5 million German women were abused, and in all, people say he easily caused the demise of over 20 million. He once said, "One death is a tragedy, a million deaths is simply a statistic." Ironically, he was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize in 1945 and 1948. He suffered a stroke in 1953. Number 1. Adolf Hitler. The Chancellor of Germany from 1933 to 1945 and Führer of the Nazi Party, Adolf Hitler was perhaps the most intelligent, creative, and brutal dictators of them all. He was largely responsible for the Holocaust and the Second World War. He believed that Jews were the root cause of all problems and set out to remove them from the European continent. His actions resulted in the tragic demise of over 60 million. It's hard to believe that he was once a talented artist and part of a bohemian community. Hitler passed away in his bunker on April 30, 1945. The actions and decisions of these people have left a mark, and its effects are seen in the world to this day. We hope this video was delightful and brought to your attention something new. Check out similar videos on our channel. Thank you for watching the video in full. Leave us a comment below and don't forget to subscribe.